Meet the Google Pixel 9a. For the next 24 hours, this phone will be my only phone that I'll be using throughout the day. I want to check various things like the screen, the battery life, the audio, and of course the camera capability. But before we get to that, let's get into the unboxing itself. So the SIM card pops in just past 11, and check this display out. So fingerprint scanner, we're in. That was quite swift. The AMOLED display, quite impressive, high refresh rate. It was at this point I started to realize the deficiencies kicking in with the Pixel 9a. I took this call from a friend, and straight away I realized that the sound quality and the volume just wasn't there. This phone was nostalgic, so I was willing to give it another go. I had the Pixel 4a, and this feels like it had grown up, matured, and now holds a reputable job and is going to do whatever it has to do to maintain that job. And this is where I think this phone is starting to grow on me. Yeah, I don't know if it's a bias from the past, but it's something that did play a part in me trying to push it to its boundaries. To see what the audio is like. I cannot justify it. You wait 6 months, maybe a year, and you can get 18 Pro Max. Let's just check out what the photo capability is like. Quick, snappy, instant actually. Quite impressive. The photo itself, quite true to life, what you expect from a Pixel. But the 9a is rather quick in its processing. This is the back camera, 4K, 60 frames per second. You can see slight lag as we transition, but the dynamic range is pretty accurate to life, maybe a bit too vivid to be honest. The colors I do like though, they're good to the eye, and the stabilization is really good. The focus is decent there, 30 frames per second at 4K. Let's see what the focus is like. Yeah, there's this focusing transition that the iPhone and more expensive models do better, but yeah, definitely good. Obviously 30 frames per second is for close-up, slower sort of montages like this, but the color accuracy I do like, to be honest. The HDR is not bad, just a little bit off, but overall the stabilization is good. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. This is the front-facing camera of the Pixel 9a, and as you can see, the colors are very vibrant, maybe overly vibrant, a bit too saturated. The sky is not that blue, neither are the trees that green. That just means it lacks a bit of HDR in my opinion. But yeah, I do like the overall color balance, but a bit too vivid for my liking. Stabilization is good though. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. This is the front-facing camera with the selfie illumination mode, which can be found in settings. I did find this useful. I just stumbled across it. Like I said, this is a raw and exclusive vlog style review, so literally living with the phone and finding out things as I go along. Let me know what you guys think of this mode. However, I wasn't too impressed with the video gallery editing. I found that the cropping and the processing, probably from this slower processor of this mid-range price zone, just took way too long. So yeah, this processor, you can definitely feel it as you're doing day-to-day tasks and trying to complete things and finalizing your edit. Coolest feature, however, is found in the rear camera, where you can circle an object in a picture and it will literally erase it for you. So that's pretty useful. Just an update on the Pixel 9a's battery percentage, 44%, pretty impressive given the fact that it's almost 7 p.m. in the evening here in the UK, and I've been using this phone for a lot of intensive tasks, I would say, throughout the day. Just been scrolling YouTube, just day-to-day taking calls, although the call quality not the best in my opinion, the sound quality not the best. I'm just going to summarize bits and bobs I've learned over the few hours that I've been using this phone since I've been awake, and I must say the battery is keeping up though. It's a fairly decent sized battery in this price point, around the 350 to 400 pound mark, so not surprised, but I didn't realize that it would be well optimized given the processor that I spoke about earlier. What I'm trying to say is I just didn't expect this Pixel 9a to keep up with high intense tasks as well as it did, and efficiently as well. So quite impressive, to be fair. I was skeptical about this phone, I'm not gonna lie. Pixel 9a, it has the AI configuration, but all in a mid-range capacity. And I was worried about this, but the 24-hour challenge really taught me one thing. It's not always about the price. It's sometimes about the usability. And I had a 4A way back in the days, and this is a massive upgrade from that. So I don't like the fact that, smudges are going everywhere on this phone, whether it's at the front or the back. And I really didn't like the actual feel factor of it. Yes, it felt fairly premium, but not to a level that I'm used to. This phone really taught me one thing, that price is not the main factor. In fact, it's barely a factor. The Pixel 9a impressed me more than it did not. And that is encouraging, especially for you guys that are looking to spend, well, what is it, about £350 to £400 compared to what iPhone and Samsung Ultras are charging around the £1,000 mark. So that is definitely a positive, and I'm glad I did this test. At this point, the Pixel 9a was barely draining any battery compared to all these other flagships that I've tested over the years. This one really does hold its own in the battery department. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share the video, and of course subscribe to the Nahid Knows channel. Until next time, see you in the next video. Thank you.